In the elementary class, there's a video going over the simple time signatures, the simple meters. You know, the 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, those first time signatures that you learned. The 4 refers to your quarter note beat on the bottom. And then 2, 4 has 2 of those in a measure, 3, 4 has 3 of those in a measure, 4, 4 has 4 of those beats in a measure. For the intermediate class, compound meters should not be a mystery. I guarantee you've already played pieces in compound meters. Let's just go over a little bit of why they're notated differently and what the time signatures mean. Now, if you watched the previous video on the website, we just did an example of translating 3/4 to 3/8. The quarter note beat becomes an eighth note beat. That's a part of it, but not exactly. We can take 3 quarter notes here and they become exactly 3 eighth notes. So these are equivalent meters, actually. This is also a simple meter. Compound is when you take this quarter note and your main beat is a dotted quarter note. So when you have 2 quarter notes here, you're going to have 2 dotted quarter notes here. When you have 3 quarter notes in a measure, in a compound meter, you're going to have 3 dotted quarter notes. In a 4/4 measure, you have 4 quarter notes. In a compound meter, you're going to have 4 dotted quarter notes. So, what you have to understand is that a dotted quarter note, no matter what time signature you're in, equals 3 eighth notes. This is a complete measure in 3/8. This is a complete measure in 3/8. It's sort of like when you have 3 quarter notes. And then one note for that is a dotted half note. And that makes it 3/4. Okay, so this is just to review that when you're looking at a dotted quarter note, you need to be thinking of this group of 3 eighth notes. So you can have one measure of that, that's our 3/8, but then as soon as you have 2 of that, we're actually talking about 6/8, right? If we double this, we've got 2 of these in one measure, that's 6/8. If we write 3 of them, 3 plus 3 plus 3 eighth notes is 9/8. And then, you're probably ahead of me on the math, 4 of these that are 3 beats each is 12/8. So our top numbers are radically different, but the numbers of beats that we're talking about is not. So 2/4 is sort of the equivalent of 6/8. 3/4 is the rough equivalent of 9/8, and 4/4 is the rough equivalent of 12/8. Now, I think some of you realize, well, 6/8, if I know my math, the fraction is the same as 3/4. It's a doubling of the fraction. That does not necessarily work in music for a few reasons. What you have to realize is in 6/8, you're feeling 2 beats just like when you're playing in 2/4. All right. The difference is you're feeling groups of 3 instead of groups of 2/8 notes. That's probably enough to digest right now. Next, we're going to look at some examples in these time signatures.